Hello, I'm FM and welcome to my channel and welcome to another one of my little experiments. Now, I like to just go along with different things, and sometimes I might do one video and someone will say something to me and it gives me an idea for another video. And if you know me, you'll know I've probably been a bit critical of Pep Guardiola. I've done a few experiments with him and he gets a sack and stuff. And I am a Manchester United fan and I could be accused of just saying things like that because he's Manchester City manager, and I've not. I've said certain things like that before he went to Manchester City. But to be fair, I tested him in an episode recently. You'll find it way back a bit, and he did all right. He kept Burnley in the league, which is all he could want. He got Stoke mid-table, which is all they could want, and then he ended up doing well. And each time he kept going back to Manchester City. You know, I think he failed at Wolves, over, didn't he? He couldn't get Wolves out of the Championship. But do you know what? All round, he did all right, and he held my hands up and said, "Fair play," right? But someone said to me, "Why don't you test Jose Mourinho?" I was going on about Pep Guardiola. I mean, Jose's done well, but he's also been a bit of a pleb. Could he do it? Could Jose do it at a lower level with no money? Now, I did a video for another channel last year with Pep and the same team with the same sort of title, and Pep failed massively at this. So I thought, I love that little. I'm a Star Wars fan. Let's have a bit of fun. The Bantams, Bradford City, play on words. The Bantam Menace, like the Phantom Menace, the film. Let's put Jose at Bradford. And can he get him back to the Premier League? Can he get him in the Championship? Can he do anything, or will he bugger off? Or will he get sacked? Now I've had a go. We've put him in charge of Bradford, and we're going to find out what he does. Do you want to know? Hopefully you do. Now before we do, if you're new, don't forget to check out my series on the last episode of Manchester Central. Links to everything will be down below. Smash that like button, do me a favour, and let's get going. So here we are with Bradford City. Now, Bradford's not too far away from where my wife's from, like West Yorkshire area. I remember him in the Premier League a while ago. I mean, what's that, in the Premier League in late 1999, turn of the millennium. Since then, they've had an unfortunate slip all the way down to like League 2. At the minute, they're back in League 1. It's happened to a few clubs that who've just like hit the skids and gone, they like rocket down, don't they? I quite like Bradford. I always remember Stuart McCall, the manager, I think when they got promoted to the Premier League, I might be wrong, when he got bladdered and he's dancing on the car and he thought he fell off. Brilliant. So, they're in Sky Bet League 1 and they've got Jose as the manager. Now here is the legendary Jose Mourinho. If you have a look at his history down here, you'll know he did Porto. He did alright in Porto, didn't he? Won the Champions League, knocked Man United out. Went to Chelsea's first stint, which was brilliant for him. Went to Inter Milan, won a treble with an okay team. They were good, but they weren't like amazing. Went to Real Madrid. I think it was a bit turbulent there for him, but he won the title, didn't he? So fair play. Went back to Chelsea, started off brilliantly. I think he won the league, didn't he? And then a year after, it all went. Now he's at United in real life, and I like him as a manager. He's a bit boring sometimes. I think he's got a bit older now. He's not as charismatic as he used to be. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. I liked him when he was crazy on the sidelines, and we don't get that at United. He's reserved. But yeah, he had that 1 year at United on here, where he's won the League Cup and the Europa League. Now, he stepped up a level. He's at Bradford City in League 1. I put him on 35 grand a week, which is probably a lot for this division, but it's Jose in it. He should be on about 300 grand. And if you look at his stats, I mean, he's a great coach, fantastic mentors, can judge a player. On paper, he shouldn't need money. He should, with his own ability, be a great enough manager to tactically outwit these other teams, because a lot of teams are the same level in this league, aren't they? Let's have a look at the league. So here is the division, Sky Bet League 1. Bradford City are predicted to finish 8th, 10-1 to win the title. Don't think they've got anybody in the dream team. But you know, this is Jose Mourinho. I don't think he's going to have much money. Let's have a look at his squad, and I'll arrange it by value. And yeah, best player's worth 875 grand. He's from France. Romain Vincelot. That's possibly the best name ever. Sounds like a knight, doesn't he? King Arthur's knight. Plays central midfielder, plays defensive midfielder, plays centre half. He's okay, he's a good player, man, for this level. Great player. Where's he coming from? Coventry, Leighton Orient. Alright, so he's been around the English lower levels for quite some time. I'll be honest with you. With a name like that, I have no idea how I've missed him, because that's possibly the best name I've ever seen. But apart from that, I could go for his players, but most of you'll know, especially if you're a fan of a team that's around this level, you'll know some of these lads. The majority of them are English. I mean, he's got quite a lot of youth players there. I don't see a lot of 30-year-olds, so I mean, I'm guessing he's going to do all right. I mean, it's his tactics as well, though. I mean, he's going to play that kind of tactic, but a lot of teams play that. On my series, I come up against this all the time. I'm a 4-4-2 fan myself, but he's going to come up against this tactic quite a lot. I'm going to be interested because he's going to have no money. He's going to have zilch money. And if we look at the facilities, they've got a 25,000 seat stadium. I think they've got a cracking stadium. It's decent. From memory, I weren't near Bradford once. So I remember driving nearby, and it's like set quite high up, I think. I remember it looking really, really cool. They're an old club. They've only got average corporate adequate training facilities. So, you know, they've been out of the Premier League for 20 years, haven't they? So it's been a long time since they've had a lot of money pumped into the club. But yeah, Valley Parade's got a Northern Commercial Stadium. It's Valley Parade, innit? So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to keep holidaying until he either gets a sack or he leaves. And we'll just see how far we can go. I don't know what you think he's going to do. If you want to put down below before we get going, have a bet, see what you reckon. Is he going to get sacked in the first season? Will he get out first season? Will he get into the Premier League? Personally, I think he'll do a year, maybe the playoffs, won't get there. Second year in League One, possible sack, probably leave. That's my theory. I'll see you in a bit. Right then, I've been holidaying every year and I've gone, what, 5 years into the future. And Jose is not long left. Bradford City is now at Leicester City in the Premier League. So he spent a good 4 or 5 years at Bradford. I mean, what happened? Let's find out. Was he successful? I'm looking forward to finding out because I have no idea really. I just kept on going and kept on clicking on Jose. And then obviously he's at Leicester and I'm like, right, let's get looking. So here we are on his profile, and you can see from his stats, he's still a good manager. He's still got all the same. I don't think they've changed. And over he was at least at Bradford for 4 years, possibly a bit longer. Maybe you can see on here. No, good. I don't think you can you? I don't think you can. No. Right. Let's have a look at what he did. There's a Bradford page, and look straight at the top. They're in the Premier League, the 20th in the Premier League. So is the Premier League not finished yet? Yeah, it's just finished. Bradford have been relegated, but I'm assuming Jose got into the Premier League and then probably buggered off. I'm assuming they got Ronald Koeman as the manager. If we go to their history of managers, Jose Mourinho, was it 4 years, 181 days. He left just before the window in the Premier League. He's left halfway through the Premier League. Ronald Koeman's come in. Probably knew it was a sinking ship. He got 2 promotions, obviously. But he's no wins or anything, so I'm assuming he's either come second or he's got through to the playoffs. If we have a look here, where do we start here now? So he finished 5th, then he finished 4th, I'm assuming, right, so there you go. So obviously if he finished 4th, he'd have to have won the playoff, and then if he finished 6th in the Championship, he would have, that is just scraping into the playoffs, isn't it? And he won the playoff again, so he's fair play. I mean, that's when we started there. So we had a couple of years in League One and didn't leave, which surprises me. So he's got 5th there. He's got into the playoffs, not done anything. Came 3rd, not done anything. So he's 2 playoffs, didn't do out. Got to the playoffs, got through. Got to the playoffs again, got through. Got into the Premier League. Let's have a look at the transfer history. So this is the first season, and this is the difference, isn't it? I mean, he's not brought any money in, can't. Only spent 130 grand. Loans and freebies and tiny little players. Do you know what I mean? Next year, he didn't spend a penny, or mainly freebies. All of them are freebies with a couple of loans, but we managed to bring some money into the club for 125 grand. The 3rd year, this is the year, I think, innit, that he went up through the playoffs. Spent 29 grand. Fair play, brought some money back in. If you want to pause it yourself, have a look at any of them players. And then he got to the Championship, spent 230 grand that year. This is the year he got to 6th and just scraped it. I mean, he's done well. To be fair, he has done alright. I mean, he only stays about 3 years at a club. And then he got to the Premier League and obviously spent 26 million, but that might not be all his. Obviously, those players down there, from Sergi Canos will be Ronald Koeman's, but he spent a lot of money in them, didn't he? And obviously they've not done that well because they've been relegated. He jumped ship. But to be fair to him, I think he's done alright. There you go. I know I'm a Man United fan, but I'm not a massive lover of Jose Mourinho. I just wanted to test him as well in a similar situation to see if, you know, these top class managers, can he really do it? And to be fair, I think he passed the test. I mean, can you really ask much more from him? he stayed with the club for a good 3 years before he got him out of League One, and that was probably lucky to get out of the Championship first goal, scraped into the playoffs. But he's done it without spending. I don't think he spent £1 million. And he got into the Premier League, spent a lot of money, and unfortunately going back down. But I think he's done all right there, and I know a lot of people hate him, but his stats are obviously decent, and he's done a good job. There you go, and all these videos out for everyone. It was just a bit of fun. I just wanted to put a famous manager to the test and just use that Bantam Menace title because I love it. I love it. I'm a Star Wars geek. Hopefully, if you did enjoy that little bit of fun watching Jose, smash the like button. It's not hard, is it? Tickle the thumbs up. Thank you very much. If you're new, feel free to subscribe again. Don't forget to check out my series. I'm running a competition, so if you see this when this video's out, head on over there. You might have a chance to win a training top. All the details will be in my last episode, so check it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Booed. You've been great. I'll see you next time.